Today we're breaking down this wall shatter effect disintegration I did in After Effects. And first things first, we're just gonna start the disintegration and then move on to the rotoscope, which is, So the disintegration effect is called shatter in your effects and presets panel. So go to your effects and presets. If you don't have it, go to window, effects and presets, and just look up shatter. Right here under simulation, it should say shatter. Go ahead and drag that onto your clip. And then now you can see all this ugliness happens and you don't know what happened. Don't worry though, we're gonna fix this. Right here on the effects control panel, on view, go ahead and click rendered. Now your footage should come back right here. So the shape, I wanted a hexagon shape, just kind of switch it up so it doesn't look anything, and also it looks kind of digital and floaty. So here pattern, click on hexagon. Okay, now you can see there's a big hole right in the middle of our clip. We don't want that, so we need to open up the force setting right here and then go ahead and then bring it down the radius. So now that we have a smaller hole in the middle, we don't want it to start from the middle. If we look at the original, it starts from the side and kind of fades out. And so what we need to do to achieve that effect is right here under position, go ahead and move that position to the right. I'm just dragging my mouse to the right and you can see the hole is kind of moving to the right. We need to make the disintegration effect, so go ahead and keyframe the radius and then go to the end of your clip, and then I'm going to increase the radius, and you can see the disintegration is starting to happen. They kind of look like Legos just chopping away. But yeah, so now if we start the animation from the beginning, we already have a wall break animation, So now if we look at it, we can see our footage is actually being disintegrated and little hexagon bricks are flying off. All right, so now we need to adjust it so it doesn't look all crazy and it kind of looks like it's floating away, right? Because this kind of looks a little silly a little bit. So now we're going to open up the physics tab in our effect control panel, and you can see these effects pop up. Now these are my settings I use for this video. Your video might look different and might need different settings, so I suggest you mess with the settings to figure it out. So I'm going to change the randomness first to 0.89, and you can kind of see it is affecting our shatter animation, and currently they're kind of falling down and we want them to float away. So no worries, we need to change the gravity direction. We're going to change it to 90 degrees. So you can see they're already kind of floating away. And now you can see they're floating this way, which is from where the animation is coming from. So it looks like it's disintegrating, right? We're going to change the mass variance to 100. We're going to change the gravity to 1.6. And then we're going to change the rotation speed to 0.89. So if you take a look at it, final thing we need to change is this tumble axis. We're going to change that to X, so they're tumbling this way, right? So now we look and we're having something like this. We're getting closer. Right now these shatter animations are a little too small for me. They can definitely work, but for me they're a little too small. So I'm going to go up to the shape right here. Alright, so after changing the repetitions, we have something like this. Now currently you can use this effect, but I think in the original I already started with the wall shattered. So it wasn't that kind of like crazy looking when you looked at it, especially it was only for this clip. So I'm going to move the position now under shape. Oh, sorry, I'm going to, under force 1, I'm going to move the position to the left a little bit. So it's kind of already broken. It's already broken when it starts. And so now if you watch this, now it doesn't look too crazy. Now that we pretty much basically have our animation, we just need to add a little more sauce to it. You can see in the original I had these lights on the corners, pretty much red, refraction lights. And to do that, all I went is to the lighting tab. Go ahead and open that up. And first thing is you want to increase the intensity up. And then right now you're not going to see anything, which is fine. But how it gets to the side of the hexagon, or like on the edges, is this light depth. And that needs to be 0 or less, really depending on your scene, but it needs to be 0 or less. Now you can see if I raise it up, he gets bright. We don't want that, right? So I'm just gonna keep it right here at -0.7, and you can still see that it's not doing anything, right? Well, that's because under the material tab now, you need to increase this specular reflection. Go ahead and then lift that up a little bit. And as you can see, the more you do it, we're starting to get the red on the edges here. And if you look there, it's a little too small still, but that is also because our hexagons are too thin. So I'm just gonna go back to the top real fast, and I'm going to increase the extrusion depth. And now it looks kind of more like a building, more like a wall type. Now currently it's just kind of on one side. In the actual video, I changed this light type to distance source, and then I moved the light position to the right. So pretty much put the position right here, and you can see the light is coming and hitting these sides of the hexagons, and that's because in the original I had a light source up here, you know, kind of making it look like it was from the light source, right? And basically, yeah, we're just chipping away at it. So basically now we need to put this whole thing together and kind of make sure it looks good, right? We need to change this white solid into something different. Now I could make it a black solid, right? I could go new solid and then just make it a straight black solid. But if you look at it, it kind of looks ugly, right? Because this solid black is not the same, doesn't have the same black levels the video does, right? So, you know, I like to cheat it, and all I like to do is make a new solid, right click new solid. And right here, when this pops up, I just like to click this little eyedropper tool and click on a black level in the video, and then now it looks way better. Now we're just doing this to fit our scene. Now we need to add the optical flare and the little data background thing. So I basically just googled optical flare. I think this one looks the best just for the tutorial. We can also use this red one, but the color doesn't really matter. We're going to change that soon enough. Yeah, I'm going to actually use this one. So I'm just going to download this image and put it into our comp. So I'm just going to drag the optical flare in that I downloaded. You can see right here, it's in the video and it's very small. So I'm going to right click, transform, and then fit to comp. And you can see it's very low quality. Let me change this to full. And in full, it's kind of usable, especially it's in the background, so no one's really going to notice. But so now that the flare is on top of our video, we need to drag it underneath our new blue solid. I'm going to delete the bottom two so you don't get confused. So now that our flare is on top of our video, we need to drag it underneath our original clip, our video clip, and over our solid. And you can see that the flare is in the background now. I'm going to rotate this flare by pressing R. Change the rotation, something like that. I'm going to scale it up so we can have more of a, we don't see the edges. Okay, I'm going to move it to the corner, about right here. So now that we have the flare in, it's coming a little bit together, Now we need to add the data in. I couldn't find the exact overlay, but I found this plexus type overlay. Just look up futuristic overlay, data overlay, matrix overlay, and you'll find something similar, if not even the same one. So I'm going to download this and then put it into my After Effects comp. After I download it, I'm just going to drag it onto my comp. And you can see right here, I have the overlay. We're just going to scroll through this. I'm going to use about this part right here. I'm going to right click again, transform, fit to comp, boom. Now I'm going to unmolt this, so I'm going to go to my effects and presets. I'm going to type in unmolt. You can use the red giant unmolt, which I like the most, but I'm not going to use any plugins, so I'm going to use this alpha from lightness unmolt. It takes out pretty much all the blacks in the video, and we're doing it this way so we can add a glow. If you did the add and added the glow, it wouldn't look, you know, as right. But so now we just need to drag this overlay under our video clip again, and you can see we have data streams or whatever behind our video, and it kind of looks cool. Right. So I sped up the overlay videos just so it has more movement to it, and then now we're going to add a glow to the data. So if you just type in glow, I'm pretty sure I used a plugin called Optical Glow from Red Giant. I think it is free, so check it out, but I'm going to use just regular glow for people who don't have plugins. Go ahead and drag that onto our data footage right here. You can see it brightens up a little bit. I'm going to increase the radius, increase the intensity, and then I'm going to duplicate the glow now. it brightens up even more. I'm going to increase this radius a little bit more. And then now we have something like this. Final part is he becomes disintegrated right at the end, and that annoys me, so I'm going to do our favor and rotor brush him. I'm going to select our top clip, press Ctrl D. I'm going to go to the beginning, go ahead and delete the shatter effects controls. Make sure your top one is selected. I'm going to change this color so we don't get confused. Top one, delete the shatter, and then now we need to do the good old rotor brush. Double click our footage after we select the rotor brush tool right up here. Whenever I trace out something I don't want in the video, which is this little extra part, I'm going to hold Alt on my keyboard and then train the AI to take out this part of the video, just doing the same thing. Go ahead and do this again. After going through it and seeing that I like the rotor brush, I'm just going to go ahead and freeze my rotor brush right here. And this is so it doesn't have to load every second you move something in After Effects. So after it's freezing, you can go back to your composition panel right up here, press 0 on your keyboard, numpad, and it will pre-render the video. And that's basically the effect I did. And with hours of making it look way nicer and taking my time and like changing little things, and this is pretty much how I did the whole thing. So let me know if you guys need any help in the comments. I'll try to reply to you. On top of that, if you guys like the video, please like the video and subscribe. More free content coming soon. Thank you. Later.